All right, let's talk about one of my favorite Charlotte suburbs, Matthews, North Carolina. But don't move there. Don't move there unless you like low crime, unless you like good schools and being close to a pretty good economic engine of Charlotte, North Carolina. I actually live in Weddington, which is the next one over from Waxhaw. But I love Waxhaw, and I'm going to show you some footage here and give you some stats here. If wherever you are, the thing about I love all of the suburbs around Charlotte, North Carolina, because Charlotte is a growing city. It's an economic hub, but you get the best of both worlds if you live in a small, like to me, Waxhaw, Matthews, Fort Mill. You get the best of both worlds. You get a small town, but you're close enough to a pretty large economic hub, and you usually get lower taxes than that economic hub has, and lower crime and better schools. So that's the secret sauce, I think. I love Charlotte, North Carolina, but I love all of the small cities around Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's probably that way around most everywhere. I'm Preston Salem with Home Inspection Carolina. And don't move to Charlotte. Don't move to Matthews unless you like a lot of good things. So let's talk about Matthews for a little bit. Matthews is about 12 miles south. It doesn't feel like 12 miles. But southeast of Charlotte, which is one of the major metro areas. I think it's the 16th or 19th largest city, depending on how far out you go out. It's growing. 150 some people move here a year. It used to be a city, of banking. It still is, but it was way back. It was the headquarters of Nations Bank and First Union, which now is Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Same banks, but they've kind of rolled into some things. But anyway, let's talk about it. You get benefits of suburban life, more space, quieter neighborhoods, green parks, while still leaving access to jobs, service, cultural amenities, and the airports of a big city. We have a large airport, Charlotte Douglas Airport, but there's also a small airport in Concord that's starting to get a few Allegiant and Avelo, or a few selected flights that it's nice to fly out of there because you don't have the parking issues that you do at a major airport. Strong schools, family friendly. Matthews is well known for excellent public schools, private and charter alternatives. Many of the schools perform above the state averages. There are a substantial number of schools, about 27 schools in the Matthews area, which include both public and private option. The town is very oriented towards families, parks, recreation centers, and neighborhoods. They have a great festival in the fall, Matthews Alive. There's a park right there called Stumptown Park. You'll see videos in the video. You'll see some pictures of that. It's just a great time. It's just a little festival, lots of art, lots of kind of like a little fair, for a small town fair. We go every year. Matthews has green spaces, trails, parks, lots of outdoor amenities. The 4 Mile Creek Greenway, Squirrel Lake Park, Stumptown Park. There are regular community events, farmers markets, festivals like Matthews Alive, arts, musics, cultural gatherings, which help build a sense of community. Also in Stumptown Park, which is kind of like the park right there, the main thoroughfare is Highway 51 and Monroe Road, Old Monroe Road, or it's called, I think it's John Street right there. But there's a main intersection right there, really close to Renfro's Hardware. And Stumptown Park's right off of that. That's where Matthews Alive is the whole thing, but they, big part there in the park. They also have movies, I think, in the summer there. What is it, the first Friday night or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but it's something like that. Matthews is a great place. but don't move here unless you like great places. So the downtown, there's a historic charm. There's a train that runs right downtown. So there's like this old train station that's pretty cool. I think it's actually the town hall. No, it's not town hall. It's like a museum now. Town hall's right beside that. It used to be a restaurant years ago. My wife and I had been there. There's also a pretty cool little bar restaurant scene there. There's one called Seaboard that's right beside the train track that's, all about, train stuff. And ironically, the cool little coffee shop there is called Brakeman's, which is a train reference, the brakeman on the train. Compared to most places in the country, Matthews tends to have lower crime rates, violent property crime, or at least better than most urban areas. This gives peace of mind, especially for families, those seeking more secure neighborhoods. More than that, because it is a smaller town in comparison to larger cities, community policing, neighborhood involvement, and local governance tend to be more responsive. Now, Matthews isn't super cheap. Housing prices have risen. You could get a good deal there a couple of years ago, but I mean, it's like everything else. It's going up because people want to live there. It is a great place to live. But don't move there unless you like great places to live. That's kind of the title of the video. The reason I did that is because those videos tend to do better, like the negative, don't move here, but it's really a positive. I was trying to turn it around. Matthews is a great place to live. Matthews has relatively mild winter. Like I said, I live in Waxhaw, which is like the next town over, Weddington. My address says Waxhaw, but it's Weddington. I mean, I could walk to the Weddington Town Hall. Real close, share some of the same school districts. While summers can be humid, it's most typical of the Southeast. There's a trade-off. Like right now, it's September. It's awesome. You can get a little bit hot here in July and August. And we get cold in December, January, and a little bit of February. Don't get a whole lot of snow. I always say we get a bad snow about every 5 years. We usually get a dusting almost every year, but it never gets too cold. Average winter day here is 40, 50 degrees. And it's 50 and sunny. That's not bad. But we'll get a week or two where it's in the 20s and 30s, and it can get sort of cold, but nothing compared to the Northeast. I'm sure if anybody's watching this from New York going, that's nothing. Matthews is part of the greater Charlotte region. Many job opportunities spill over. Industries like healthcare, finance, servicing, banking, retail, tech, Charlotte, and many Matthews residents find jobs in commuting range. It says 12 miles. I didn't even think it was that far. So let's talk about versus big city living. Matthews, like I said, it's the best of both worlds. It's like you live in this small town, but you're 12 miles from Charlotte. I swear I don't think it's 12 miles, but that's what the computer says. But Matthews gives up some there's not a whole lot of nightlife in Matthews. There is some restaurants, bars, and stuff, but they're not going to be open at 1 o'clock in the morning. But you're not far from Charlotte, which does have bars that stay open until 1 o'clock in the morning. You lose some remoteness or having everything further away, but you gain a lot more access to healthcare, shopping, entertainment, employment opportunities. You have more infrastructure, better schools, and many natural amenities. Matthews does have a hospital. Crazy story here. I actually got bit by a snake. I never saw it. It was in this really high grass area. And, I saw the 2 fang marks on there, and I'm like, I called my wife. She's like, you better go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I was in Matthews, and I went to the hospital in Matthews, and they kept me there for 5 hours. That's what they do with snake bites. But it was really, I didn't require the anti-venom, thank goodness. I don't know what kind of snake it was. Hopefully not a copperhead. But long story short, I don't know if you guys, I'm getting way off track here. But I asked, I was like, well, just give me the antivenom and I can go home. It's $25,000. And I'm like, oh. So basically they observe you for 5 hours, and if it doesn't swell beyond a certain point, they'll let you go home. And that's what happened with me. But the hospital was beautiful. It was great. It was great. In fact, one of my daughters in that same hospital had one of her pieces of artwork displayed. So Matthews does have a hospital. Matthews competes very well with other suburbs that surround the metro area of Charlotte. You know, give or take, you know, Fort Mill is also a suburb of Charlotte, which is actually in South Carolina. Those schools are pretty good. But typically, you know, you've got, Independence and Butler, I think, are the high schools there. They rate pretty high. So, you know, I'm a big believer of the suburbs around Charlotte. If you're thinking about moving to the Charlotte area, highly recommend downtown or Matthews, and it's a cool little downtown. Kind of reminds me of Mayberry if you guys are Andy Griffith fans. Housing prices have been pushing up. Getting into more desirable neighborhoods or certain homes may require acting quickly or paying a little bit more. Traffic during peak times, especially commuting to Charlotte or along major arteries, can be a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, 74 is like the major artery that goes in to Charlotte from Matthews. Also, Texas Roadhouse is right there in Matthews. My favorite, like middle steakhouse, I guess. Summers can get humid. For those used to drier climates, that may take some adjustment. Public transit is not as robust in major metros. That is true. Charlotte does have a train right now that goes north and south. Eventually, there's going to be an east and west one, which may include Matthews. Matthews is basically east of Charlotte. You know, to sum it up, Matthews has a compelling combination. It's a town with charm, community, safety, good schools, excellent amenities, strong location, and reasonable cost relative to other areas. You get a lot of bang for your buck in Matthews. So, in closing, I love Matthews. It's the next town over for me. I'm in Weddington. Weddington's great too. Weddington's not really much of a town compared to. I mean, Matthews is a little bit more of a town. Waxhaw, like that place too. So I got another video about Waxhaw. But if you decide to move to this area, please keep us in mind. Home Inspection Carolina. That is my company, and you can check us out online, homeinspectioncarolina.com. Check out our website, homeinspectioncarolina.com. There's a whole lot of things there, checklists, things like that, if you're checking out a home. But anyway, in closing, I love Matthews. It's a great city, especially if you're planning on raising a family, and there's economic opportunity here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, whatever the kids do these days. Thanks a lot.